guys, welcome to this new video, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. I'm Kiona and we're gonna do a Q&A today. I asked you guys on Instagram if you could ask me questions, and they're book related, they're not book related, they're just all sorts of questions, so let's get right into it. Like I said, I ask these questions on Instagram. I have two accounts. I have my bookstagram, so my book account, and I have my main account where I just post about my life and about mindset things. I'm really into motivating people, helping people, so that's what I do on there. Both of my Instagrams are linked down below. Okay, so the first question is one quote that changed the way you think. So one of the books that I read that really changed the way I thought was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and forward by Steve Harvey. Like, this book has a lot of good quotes. I learned a lot from this book, even though I didn't even finish it. I'm not even halfway through the book. But this book has so many good quotes that made me really think, and it just changed my perspective on things. And one quote that I really liked in this book is, "The only limitation is that which one sets up in one's own mind." It's just amazing. This book talks about desire, about your subconscious mind, about an idea, about taking the first step. This book is one of the first books that I read, which was a self-help book, and I was just insanely mesmerized and shocked about what it taught me. And I think that's also when I started doing things for me, when I started really thinking for myself, what do I actually want to do with my life? And I knew when I read this book that I could make anything happen if I put my mind to it. If I reach my subconscious mind, I can make anything happen. This book was just insanely good. I've not even finished it, but I'm planning on continuing it. Oh, this is also a sort of poem, I guess. "Success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can even win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster men, but soon or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can." Really good. Like I said, it's a really good book with a lot of good quotes. So if I should pick a quote, it would definitely be in this book. Absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend reading this book. And I think you can also just read this book if you don't want to grow rich, or if you don't want to read a book about money, because it's so much more than just Think and Grow Rich. It's a book about your mind and your subconscious mind and desire. If you want something, this book teaches you how to get it. And it's not only money. The book talks a lot about money, but you can also implement the knowledge in this book into your daily life without adding money to it. So let's move on to the next question, which is something that always cheers you up. I think my family is one of the most important things in my life. It's the most important thing in my life. And every day I'm so grateful for my family. I have such a beautiful and kind heart parents, and my brother is one of my best friends. And I'm so grateful every day that I got to be born into this family. My parents do everything for me, and every day I'm just so incredibly grateful that I have this family. We can talk about anything with each other, and I think that's really important. And another thing that always cheers me up is my best friend. She's one of the most funniest people I've met on this earth. She is so crazy, but I love her to death. Even after death, I love her. She's so incredibly amazing. We've been through stuff. We've had ups and downs, but I think when you have downs, it's important that you come out stronger, and we definitely did that. So yeah, she's always the person that cheers me up, and she's also one of my biggest supporters. When I feel down and I feel like I can't handle it anymore, she's always the one that makes me have faith in myself again. So I really want to thank her for that. I love you so much. The next question is my favorite book ever. You're asking me a really hard question there. I don't know if that's her name, but you asked me a really hard question. To be honest, I don't particularly have a favorite book because I have so many books that I like. So to really pick a favorite, that's hard. I'm really cracking my brain right now because it's a really hard question. But my favorite book, I have multiple questions asking what's your favorite book. Whoa, you guys, this is so hard for me. I I can't give you a straight answer because it's just incredibly hard. Okay, I'm just gonna grab some of my favorite books. I don't have particularly one book that I'm absolutely obsessed about. I have, I think, multiple favorite books that I like, so I'm just gonna grab those. So I have 5 books here that are kind of my favorites. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys. So the first one is Verity by Colin Hoover. I just really liked Verity. When I was reading this book, I literally got goosebumps. I was reading this at midnight. I don't recommend doing that because it's absolutely scary as... That's why this one always stuck by me, because I literally got goosebumps reading this and I thought it was really good. So if you're into thrillers and you're into romance combined, this is the one for you. It was so, it was just amazing. The next one is from a series. I have 2 books from the same series. One is Twisted Games by Anna Hong. Yeah, this is just... I loved this series. I loved the Twisted series. It was so good. This one was amazing. I've never read about a princess and a bodyguard, and I was just insanely obsessed with both of them. I just thought it was so cute because there was a forbidden romance because Bridget had to marry a man and he was her bodyguard. It was, yeah, I liked it. I really liked it. So if we're talking about the series, my next favorite book was Twisted Lies. Yeah, Christian Harper, you guys, that man, he was a CEO, right? Read this series a long time ago, but I thought that he was a CEO or something, or he had his own business. He was really rich. It was a billionaire or something. And then you had Stella, and Stella, she was an influencer, and they fell in love, and I just liked the story. It's a really thick book. I liked it. I loved it. Amazing. I loved this series because it was a friend group. This series was just such a bonding series that you really you could just feel the love that the girls had for each other, and then also the boys became friends, and it was just really fun to read. These 2 are definitely one of my favorites. Also, Twisted Hate, the 3rd book. If you're into enemies to lovers, you should read Twisted Hate because that's literally enemies to lovers. That was so good. So moving on to the next one is Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This book is also part of the series. This is the 3rd book of the Dreamland Billionaire series, and I read the fine print, I read Terms and Conditions, and when I just finished Terms and Conditions, this one came out and I bought it. This one was, out of the 3, one of my favorites. It's also the thickest one. Terms and Conditions and the fine print were half of this book, I think. It was childhood to lovers and sort of enemies to lovers. They kind of hated each other, or Alana did. It was a cute romance book. Definitely one of my favorites. It was pretty long, but the whole time I was so interested and entertained, and I thought Cal was a really interesting character. He had a lot of things going on, but I really liked him. He was really funny, but also he had his problems, and I think I was very interested in who he was and what happened to him, and just how he was very interesting to me. Alana, yeah, she was also cute. I liked her. Their past was very interesting because they were each other's first love. I thought they were each other's first love. So I always like to read about that because they have history, and now they're trying to bond again. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. So the last one that I have, one book from my favorite series, maybe you can guess it. It's definitely one of my favorite books out of this series just because there was happening so much and it was an absolute mind-blowing book in the series. I'm obviously talking about the Shatter Me series. I mean, come on. If you haven't read the Shatter Me series and you like fantasy and romance, this series is absolutely the one for you. This was my first fantasy series, but this book in the Shatter Me series was so good. It's just it tops it all. This was the mind-blowing book of the whole series. I was so confused. I was incredibly what is happening right now? It was a whole plot twist. A whole plot twist. I really like this one. But this is out of a series, so if you want to read this book, you first have to read the other books before this one, because otherwise you won't understand anything. But the Shatter Me series is one of my favorite series. But we were talking about favorite books. So I don't really know if this is a good one to show you guys, but if we're talking about favorite series, Shatter Me series. So those were my favorite books, and yeah, let's now move on to the next question. Which are your top 5 thriller books so far? I haven't read a lot of thrillers. I read Verity and I read Lila. That's it. If I had to choose between those two, it would definitely be Verity, but I haven't read more than 5 thrillers, so I can't really say much about that. But if I had to choose between Lila or Verity, definitely Verity. However, Lila was also very good, but it was about ghosts and stuff, and this was more like realistic. So yeah. My favorite movie. Ooh, favorite movie. I think I would say The Notebook. Yeah, every time I watch that movie, I cry. I cry like a baby. Like, I'm not even joking. That movie makes me sad all the time. And it's so beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful. So I would definitely say The Notebook. Why did you start your bookstagram? Well, because I really like reading books, and I was actually very passionate about talking about books and talking and connecting with other book lovers. So I was like, yeah, why not? I started my bookstagram. I love talking about books, and I'm also passionate about reading self-help books and yeah, motivating people to read about self-help books, because I think self-help books can really teach you things and give you a lot of knowledge that you normally wouldn't know if you wouldn't have read the book. Yeah, I'm just very passionate about connecting with other book lovers and to talk with people about books and to just connect. Next question is, what are you studying? At the moment, I have summer holiday, so I don't have school, but after this summer, I'm going to study social media management, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna study that in the city, so it's gonna be a whole different and new journey for me. It's gonna be a whole new adventure, because the school I went to before was not in a city, because I was just like in high school and it was close to my house, so I could like go there with the bike in like 20 minutes, but now I have to go with the bus because I'm going to school in the city. So it's gonna be a new adventure, but I'm so excited to start my new school, so college. I think it's called college in the US. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna study. How old are you? I'm currently 16, but I'm turning 17 on the 19th of August. So it's almost my birthday. Very excited. I'm in Spain when it's my birthday. I'm in Valencia with my dad, and I'm looking forward to it. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to be there. I'm gonna film the whole trip because I'm very excited just to show you guys the journey and the trip. We're going 5 days, because after I come back, the next day I have to go to school, like very fast. But yeah, it was kind of last minute, I guess. I'm going for the first time with a plane. I'm really scared. I have tinnitus, so I have this sound in my ear like at all times, so I can hear like this long peep. Like most old people get it, but I have had some troubles with my left ear, and I once went to a party and they were firing fireworks. Yeah, I was very close to the fireworks. I went home and I had this insanely annoying peep in my ear, and it never went away. So I have tried a lot of things to get rid of it, but it just doesn't help. The hair in my ears are just like damaged, and I can't really do anything about it, but I've actually accepted it and I found a way to live with it. So going on a plane and swimming and stuff and having my head underwater are things I'm very scared about, because I don't want it to get worse. But I'm gonna take my camera with me, so stay tuned for those vlogs. Somebody asked, which team are you on? I think we're talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty here. On my Bookstagram, I've been posting a lot about The Summer I Turned Pretty. I'm currently reading The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. So I think the person is asking about which team am I on, Jeremiah or Conrad. So today it's the 29th of July. So yesterday, episode 5 came out on Prime. I watched that episode. To be honest, I felt for Jeremiah. Like, I felt for the guy. Like, it was so sad. It was so sad for him. I was actually like, my heart kind of broke for him. But I'm team Conrad. Why? Because I just, like, I love mystery guys, and I love guys that are not in books, not in reality, I think. I've never dated anyone or something, so to be honest, I wouldn't know in real life if I would choose a mystery guy over a sweet guy, but in books and in series, movies, everything, I would always go for the mystery guy and the guy that doesn't talk about his feelings, because they're just way more interesting. They're just way more interesting. But Jeremiah on the other end, I love the guy. He's so sweet. I absolutely love Jeremiah, but I don't think he's the one for Belly. I'm sorry. If you're team Jeremiah, I'm sorry. If you're team Conrad, hit it. Boom. For my mental health, I'm currently shipping Steven and Taylor only. I get that. That's the same person that asked which team am I on. Understandable. Steven and Taylor, I ship them too. They're very cute. Moving on to the next question. How do you pick yourself up on days where you have no energy? So to answer this question, I had this quote that I once heard. I think it went like, don't let your motivation control your behavior. Something like that. Like if you don't have motivation to go to the gym, don't let it affect what you do. Go to the gym because afterwards you will feel amazing. We know that. Like we know in our minds that if we do it, afterwards we will feel absolutely amazing. So how do I pick myself up on days where I have no energy? I think just to do it. Just to do what I don't want to do. If I don't want to go for a walk, I'm just gonna do it. Something I also try to do every morning is get a cold shower because it wakes me up and it gives me energy. So I also try to do that every day. So if I don't have any energy, I have to take a cold shower to like get me started on the day, even if I don't have any energy. So I think just doing it, even if you don't have any energy or motivation, don't like go over your boundaries, fall into a gap and like losing yourself. That's not what I'm saying, but I think if you don't have energy or motivation, just by doing it and overcoming that step, it gives you more energy. So that's what I normally do. Not a question, but I think you are so beautiful and I just wanted to tell you. Thank you. That is so sweet. How old are you and when did you start getting into reading? Like I said, I'm currently 16. So I first got into reading when I was watching the movie After. One of my friends said that it was her favorite movie, so we went to watch it with each other when we were on a sleepover. And after I've watched the movie, I was just incredibly obsessed with the whole characters in the whole movie. So my niece then told me that they also had books of the After movie, the After series. I think a lot of us started with the After series as first, like as getting into reading a series or books. So I started reading the first time I read it in my first language, so Dutch, all the 4 books in Dutch, and then I bought them myself in English and I reread the whole series in English. And that's actually how I got into reading. After I finished the After movies, I think my next book was It Ends With Us by Colin Hoover, and then it just like I bought more books and I started just like getting into reading. I started my bookstagram and yeah, that's how I got into reading. Okay, we're back. My memory card was full, so I needed to change it, and my new one, I got a new one. I had the 64GB memory card, but it constantly told me that it was full and it was so annoying. How do you pick your book? You have an amazing collection. Thank you. I just look on bookstagram or on booktube or in a bookstore. When I'm in a bookstore, I read the back of the book and I'm like, am I interested in this book or not? And when I am, I take it with me or not. I have a lot of books on my TBR right now, so I'm kind of putting myself in the book ban. But otherwise, if I see a book on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, I normally just look at what the genre of the book is and then I'm deciding if I'm gonna buy it or not. Most times I don't really read the back of the book. I just look at what the genre is, and if I see some quotes and I'm like, I need to have this book, I need to have it because it has really good quotes or something. That's actually normally how I decide if I'm gonna read a book or not. So yeah. So those were the questions in this Q&A. I think I'm gonna do this maybe, I don't know, once in a while. I think it's really fun and you guys get to know more about me. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like down below in this video, and if you want to see more, definitely subscribe. Let me know if you want more of these Q&A videos once in a while. I also want to thank everybody that left a question on my Instagram story. Thank you so much, and yeah, I hopefully will see you at the next video.